serving gas, we too damn patient. All the tension is a lie. Choose to question my creation, 'cause the purpose is like seeking patience. I'm just pushing me closer to this truth.
All right, so now that the seats are out, we've got a better view of everything here. I realized that the seats kind of sit like right here, and then like 2 inches back is the center console. So it's perfect actually, because I could have the seats out here and know exactly where to stop right against the center console. So what I did is the sub box is going to start right here where the green or where the blue tape is, and then it's going to come down, and the angle matches my center console exactly. So we're going to match it up right against there. I was kind of nervous because I was like, how am I going to hold this box up against this back wall? But now I don't need to, because the center console is pushing up against here, and also going to be pushing the sub box back, so it's not falling forward, going left or right. But this angle looks like it matches perfectly. Now let's take the cardboard out and cut it perfectly to that and all the way down, and then go over these edges right here, and we'll see what we got. That's perfectly centered between the two, and now we just have to take some measurements right here. All right, so now we are out here with the MDF. Remember, this MDF is 5/8 thick. Obviously you want the top of it as straight as possible, so just go with like the pre-cut sides, right? So I lined it up with this side, I lined it up with this side, perfect 90-degree angle. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of space here. So now all I have to do is grab this, make the line, and we should have something that looks like that. I'm gonna use this level to go ahead and like straighten out these lines a little more, because the cardboard's kind of wavy on the sides. All right, seat is in. As you guys can see, we have like 2.5, almost 3 inches back here, which is totally fine, because when we build the actual sub box, it's gonna have 7 inches that go that way, and then taper off. Bruh, every single time I record, V6 Camaro passes by. So it's gonna have like 7 inches from here, and then it's gonna taper off at the top right there, as you guys can see. And it's probably gonna have like 3 inches up here. But basically the speaker's gonna be kind of angled downward. And we're gonna have to build this box, but there's a wall that we have to put here. Obviously this is gonna look weird if it's just like just ends right there, right? And then you see a box down there. All right, so the mats and the carpet were from Auto Custom Carpets. Yes, sir, final touches. Look at that, dude. The carpet looks so sweet. Look at how nicely we cut it. The mats look nice and proper. These are all the pieces that I need, thanks to my dad for helping me out. He always comes in clutch when I'm trying to build these custom sub boxes. So we have perfect room, dude. We literally have like a 1/4 inch of clearance everywhere you look in this design. So as far back as we possibly can before hitting the wall back here, we have a bunch of room here where the box is obviously gonna be built. So we're gonna have enough room in there for this thing to breathe nicely and pack some bass. Oh, that carpet looks so good. Ooh. Remember when it was chocolate? I was doing my power window switches, it looked like chocolate. Yuck. Now it matches. Sheesh. So the sides are on. Basically, you just drill from the opposite side, close, probably like 1/4 of an inch in, so that it is on the center of this when you screw it in. I'll show you guys that. Like right there, along the sides. So drill a pilot hole first, slightly smaller than the actual screw that you're putting in, and then go ahead and put the screw in. You don't want to have it crack like mine did, lightly, but this is where the box is, and right here we won't make that mistake again. So we'll drill a pilot hole and then put the screw in. Right there. This is going to be the top one. And it's gonna sit on top of this one. And then we got our lower one right here. And they all meet up to this sidewall. So all we have to do is from the other side measure accurately and put those screws through exactly at the middle of these. So since we already have this box made up right here, I just got a level, put it straight, and then just made a line, and I'll continue the line all the way to the other side. Since I got OCD, I'm just gonna put a line of glue, like caulking basically, on the inside of this all the way out. Not a lot. Alright, so I'm essentially building these three little walls off of the box just so it's easier, so I don't have to be like holding it and it's like falling over. So I could maneuver it a little better if I just hold it like this and drill my holes. Make sure you don't drill like too close to the edge or else this MDF will split. So now what I'm gonna do is make sure everything's perfectly flush like it is there, and then drill my hole about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches inward, and then same on the other side. I don't have like a step bit, so what I'm doing is I'm getting a bit has the same size tip as the head of the screw, so that the screws fit like flush against the wood and they're not popping out. And as soon as it grabs, just let go, like that. Just enough for the tapered side to fit nice and flush. And now all we have to do is just put wood glue right here where it's gonna join, and then put the screws in. Lastly, but not leastly, we are building the back wall, what's gonna seal everything in. That measurement is exactly 11 tall by 17 wide. We made the holes here. We did some pilot holes and then we put the screws right through. So this thing is not going anywhere. Like, it's not even loose at all. Same for the other one. And now we're just gonna go ahead and double up on this polyfill and then wrap the inside of the box with some staples. I'm using T50 staples on a regular staple gun. This is the cover. I already got it all stapled up on 2 sheets of the polyfill, and I already got each casing full of it. Now I'm just gonna cut out the circle. This is a Kicker CXA 400. I was thinking of doing it like this just to be like OCD and symmetrical and everything, but it's actually better if I just mount it like this. That way the wiring harnesses just come up and meet here, and then these are like the RCAs and then the tuning adjustments right here. So that's better in case I just want to lean the truck or lean this box forward in the future and then just make some minor adjustments to set it back. And right in the middle, there's this hump right here. So I'm gonna mount it pretty low. A little messy, but basically this kit right here is called Recoil. And I'll link the Amazon link down below. And it comes with the fuses, all the light power, ground, RCAs that I'm gonna need in order to install all of this according to the description, and it has really good reviews. It's 99.99% oxygen free copper, so it's not that aluminum clad that the cheap ones are made out of. This is actually quality and for a good price. As far as the fuse, it is so dirty in here. Oh my god. I chose to put it right there, and that is the hole that I'm using, and I'm just gonna loop out of that hole into the first slot, squeeze it in there, and then add another wire, and that wire is just gonna twist and come around to the positive of the battery. And that is this wire right here. This side's gonna go to the positive of the battery. It just has a black sleeve over it. And then we're gonna cut it, and then it's gonna go through the fuse, and then out the other side of the fuse, and then run all the way into the cab. All right, so I got my cable right here. I'm gonna find a place in the firewall, which is right here, that I'm gonna just put this cable through, and then there's a harness that goes behind the fender. I'm just gonna zip tie it to that and then have it enter the cab through a hole in the firewall. And just keep routing it through. You see that hole? This is where the wire comes out to. Zip tied it to the main harness, and then zip tied it again to the main harness and to the little one for my relay box for my power windows, and then it enters the cab nicely through there. After the zip tie, it comes down here. Make sure it's pressed up against here, because obviously your carpet's gonna go over it, and if somebody kicks it, you don't want this all tensed up over here. So make sure it's all the way back there. I zip tied it to this, I guess this is where the original cables went through. This is way too thick to be going in there. So I zip tied it, small zip ties, 3 of them. And then from here, it's just gonna cross over here and then go to the center. And that's where the amp's gonna be. I just created the wiring harness for the amp. This includes the 2 RCA inputs and then the signal wire, which is that little clear wire right there. I went out right now to go get a lighter. I had a battery terminal right here that I swapped out. When the garage lifted, totally forgot it was there, came down and smacked right there. Freaking huge, dude. I had already planned to get this thing repainted because obviously I wanted to redo the whole front end, and it had this little mess up that I did like 2 years ago. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting this whole front end repainted in the next 2 months. I'm gonna go to CBH Auto Body, the same guy that painted my Acura body kit. He does a really good job, so I'm gonna give him the front grille, the corner lights, the front bumper, and the lower valence. That's what the wiring's looking like. Ignore this main harness and this one. These are the only 2 we're looking at. This is the power, the one that we ran to the fuse up front, and then this one is the RCAs that we literally just made right now, and the signal cable. So there are these 3 right here. Ran the harness. You zip tie it to a harness that's like close to it, and then zip tied it along the side here. And now we have all the cables that need to go back here. So taking a look at the diagram, I guess here, we're gonna be wiring it, instead of in series, it's gonna be parallel. And we're gonna get, out of these 4 ohm speakers, each individual one is 4 ohms, we're gonna be getting 2 ohms. So basically the way this works is, you see how there's a red, black, black, red? We have to wire the negative to the negative and then route it out the box. And then we have to wire the positive to the positive and then route it out the box. If you guys get this kit, you're gonna have a lot of excess RCA cable, obviously, because we're in a little truck, and these are usually meant for like cars or SUV. SUVs or cars where it goes all the way to the back. So what I did is I wrapped the excess underneath the seat, because here it doesn't obstruct the box or the seat. This is kind of what we're looking like. I put little zip ties around this corner, so everything's nicely secured to here. And then once I put the carpet down, the three things popping out are gonna be positive, negative, and then we got the RCAs with the signal wire. Jesus Christ, how much does this weigh? Everything looks about ready to go. I already put the fuse in. All that's left to do is connect the positive side of the battery. I know this is all like a mess right here. I'm gonna order actually another fuse box, put it alongside the OEM fuse box, and then wire all this like dapper lighting stuff. This is all my college days. You guys seen how clean it is now. I don't know if this thing has a dead battery or what. What the hell? 54.4 pounds on this thing. Jesus, this thing's a monster. I think probably like what? Another pound and a half to 2 pounds after I wrap this thing. Jesus, it's worth it though, it's worth it. Oh, it looks so cool in here. So I just took the amp off and I took the subs out, and now we start wrapping. I'm gonna put only on the face of this a like padding. I'm gonna double up on it so it's nice and plush up here. I also put some in here and in the center console. So it's gonna look nice and plush over here. So we're only doing the face, like I said, and the sides. And then we'll wrap the micro suede over that.
Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and clear my throat.
And that is a wrap. Literally, this thing took so long to wrap. The edges were done up pretty sweetly. I mean, this isn't something that anybody sees. I chose to put micro suede along the top, make basically a T, and then each individual box wrap it in felt. I don't know, just kind of give it like an OEM plus-ish. I forgot to cut out the holes.
Go, go, let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is
Dimension time. So, from the bottom to the top, 27 and a half. Side to side, 48 inches exactly. Is 20 and a half. And on this side is 20 and a half. Where it starts to taper down to the sides, right? We're getting this measurement. And then from here, you just curve it down to pass the trans tunnel. From the top of the box to the top of, this false wall is 10 3/4. Just to make it a little clearer for you guys, this top piece right here is 2 3/4. The piece that goes down is 12 1/4, and this lower one right here on the same piece is 5 3/4. And lastly, this long one right here is 18 and a half. And then top to bottom, it is about 12 1/4. But you got to remember that we built this wall here first, or this enclosure, and then this wall we just pressed it in at the very end. But this wall itself is 11 inches this way. So this dimension right here is about 1 inch at the top, and then it tapers down to about 6 inches at the bottom. From bottom to top is 24 inches. I already cleaned up the inside of the cab, went ahead and vacuumed it. I just gotta brush this thing down here, and then she's ready to go in. And then plug everything up, connect the battery, put the seats on, put the center console on, and then test it out again. All right, so some people might look at this and be like, super simple, right? In reality, the box is really this tall. The only reason I added this is because right between the seats, you see a lot of like metal, I guess, that's behind the cab. It just looks really ugly. And then another reason I brought it up to here right underneath the window is because when you look between the seats, like the seat harness holes up here by your shoulder, you could see all that metal back there. I didn't really like it, so I brought it all the way up to the top. This thing weighs 55 pounds. Probably like 56 after the whole wrap and like the padding and stuff, but it's gotta look good. Jeez, that looks sweet. Yes, sir. Can't wait. Once the seats are in here, it's gonna look nice. That was like a 5-day project. Oh my god.
Let's sing a song full of hope, full of pain. Why don't you sing along, my friend? For it's our last refrain. Forever young, ever strong, ever.
Man, I can't really show you guys the box, but you guys basically saw what it looks like when the seats are out. That's basically how you make a box for any mini truck, to be honest. Just take your measurements from the top, from the bottom, from the back. Make sure you make all those boxes nice and tight so that no air is escaping, because you will hear that. Shout out to Kamikaze on Instagram. He told me to put like silicone on the inside, something I didn't show because he messaged me like late at night, and I actually went downstairs, got some out of my dad's closet, sealed up the inside of the box, and we're good to go. But yeah, that's essentially how you build a sub box enclosure for a mini truck or any truck. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I will be dropping more videos. I'm actually gonna start disassembling the rear end again, the front end, and we'll tear into that.